Okay, let's jump right in. Today, we're looking at a review you brought us. It's for a novel called Sweetness in the Belly by Camilla Gibb.
That's right.
And our mission, if you will, is to sort of unpack what this review tells us about the book itself, give you a sense of the story, the themes, why it might resonate.
Absolutely. And the review really zeroes in on the main character first, Lily.
Lily, okay.
She's English, an orphan, but, and this is the key thing, she wasn't raised in England at all.
Oh, where then?
She grew up in Ethiopia,
Mm.
in the ancient city of Harar.
Harar, right. So her whole world, her upbringing is shaped there.
Exactly. The review mentions it's a place steeped in Sufi Islam, this kind of mystical Islamic tradition. That's her reality, her identity.
Until, there's always an until, isn't there?
Uh-huh. Until the Ethiopian revolution in the mid-70s.
Ah, okay. So political upheaval changes everything.
Completely shatters her world, according to the review. She's forced out, becomes a refugee.
And where does she end up? Wow. From Harar to London. That's quite a leap. The review must focus on that contrast.
It really does. It emphasizes how her memories of Harar, the details, the feelings, the spirituality, they become central.
Like anchors to a lost world.
Precisely. They paint this picture of home, of belonging, which is then set against this colder reality of being a refugee in London. That tension seems key.
Yeah, I can see that. The review suggests this is where the big questions about identity come in.
Definitely. Who are you when you're torn from the only home you've known?
Yeah.
Especially one so different from your birthplace and your current refuge.
So it explores that feeling of being adrift, culturally, spiritually.
Right. And the whole refugee experience, the review touches on the isolation, the fight to be seen, but also importantly,
Yes.
the quiet strength, the resilience people find, how they start to rebuild.
Does she connect with others? Find community?
Yes, the review mentions she forms these quite tender relationships, often with other refugees in London.
Which highlights that need for connection, even when everything's been turned upside down.
An universal need, yeah.
Yeah.
For community, for understanding.
Now, the review apparently also mentioned something about the writing itself, the style.
It did. It described the narrative as feeling maybe a bit fragmented at times.
Fragmented, is that seen as a negative?
Interestingly, no. The review argues it's actually a strength, a deliberate choice.
How so?
It mirrors Lily's own state, her scattered memories, her emotional landscape after trauma and displacement.
Okay, so it's not a bug, it's a feature. It draws you closer to her internal world.
That's the idea presented, yeah. It enhances the empathy, puts you right there with your disorientation and attempts to piece things together.
So it's less about a straightforward plot, maybe. More immersive.
Exactly. The review calls it more of a contemplative read, something that, rewards a bit of patience and engagement from the reader.
And the overall takeaway from the review, the impact.
Seems quite profound. It challenges your perceptions about identity, what it means to be a refugee, where belonging comes from.
Fosters empathy, you said, by letting you walk in her shoes.
Yeah. And it really highlights human resilience, how people find strength, sometimes in faith, sometimes in memory, sometimes just in shared humanity, especially when dealing with, loss and fragmented lives.
So based on this review, Sweetness in the Belly sounds like a really deep exploration of one woman's journey through immense change.
Navigating displacement, holding on to memory and faith, trying to figure out where and maybe who she belongs to now.
It certainly makes you think about the idea of home, what that word really means.
It really does.
And maybe that's the question the review and the book leaves you with. Something for you listening to ponder. What does it truly mean to belong, especially when your past and your present feel like completely different worlds?